Welcome back, 2018 NXL Las Vegas Open. Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez, and we're getting into this next match right away. San Antonio X Factor, Seattle Uprising, and Legion and Sacramento DMG. So here we go, Uprising out there right now, taking on X Factor. X Factor on your right, Uprising on your left.
Both teams getting into the snake early. Billy Bernaccia lives in there for X Factor. He's got Archie right behind him. Archie's going to work back and forth in that tower. Colt Roberts over on that Dorito side for X Factor.
Yeah, I talked to Billy yesterday. He was walking the field, and he feels real confident about the snake side. I feel like I could say that at every. Billy's always confident about every snake side that he plays. He feels particularly confident about this one, feeling really confident about the team right now. And we just had Alex Rep here from Uprising. He has some back issues right now he's trying to work through, so he's not out there. They also lost Olsvik. They lost Nate Schrader. So they're going to the well right now and trying to get some production out of Tommy Tucker, Borromeo, Graham Arnold, Ormrod, Olsen, Joel Eaton. I mean, that's still a pretty strong roster, to be honest. So like we've been saying, don't sleep on some of these other teams. You still don't want to sleep on Uprising. Well, right now, Uprising in a little bit better field position. You can see there on your screen, there's Billy Bernaccia from San Antonio X Factor. And he's in notch 1 of the snake, snake 1. Uprising has a body in snake 2. And good cross-field spread. Looks like a good break for both squads. Much better field position for X Factor, though, on that D side of the field. Also like to welcome Ryan Greenspan up into the announcers booth. Doing great. How you doing?
We're doing great now that we have we're 2-0 on the first day.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be in this this position right here and kind of be in the driver's seat for going into Saturday.
Yeah. So we'll break that down in a little bit. Right now, you know, a team that you're super familiar with in San Antonio X Factor. You've had battles against them for years. Right now, looking good in this point.
Yeah. You know, I'm just watching Billy and Archie work together over here, and you know that. Those are the guys you got to watch out for, especially on this field, because it's hard to plug all the holes. And this big 50 brick right here that is tough to lock down, man. Once you get around these corners, if you have dominance down the tape, you can get in there. You saw Short get in there. I mean, Kyle and those guys on the Ironman, that was a big problem for us.
Kyle had a pretty good game in that second game against you guys. He got nasty over there a few times. He actually didn't have that terrible of a game in the first one. A lot of other guys were struggling on the Ironman. He was getting into some spots. He did have a couple bad deaths, but I'd probably give him like a C- for the first game. I'd give him a solid, you know, A- for maybe B+.
Oh, you got to get in the B range if you don't win the match.
Well, he did have some really good moves. You know, he did have some really good moves.
And just watching the Ironman and breaking down that game a little bit, that 50 brick is really good, but it's not incredibly powerful unless you own this entire snake side. Then you can start wrapping. The cross shots aren't fantastic.
Yeah.
But just being in there, you know, whatever team gets in there, it just scares everybody.
Yeah, it's that threat you're worried about. You're like, God, he's in the 50 brick again. You know, everyone has to worry about that guy, even though he doesn't have the greatest shot.
Yeah, and it kind of turns the guns over there. I'm excited to watch these DMG guys play, and a new Russian Legion team. Todd, you guys practiced them last weekend, yeah?
Yeah, it was actually really good practice. Played them, played Heat. They just lost 2 bodies. They were doubled up in that Dorito side tower. Both of them got picked off out of there. They come walking off. Well, and they just have 3 bodies left alive. But I do feel like the Russians were pretty aggressive. They were willing to run all over the place and, you know, look to get shots. But I mean, I'm really excited to see how DMG does after their dominance last year in semi-pro.
Right. Well, they're a lucky team to be able to practice against Impact. That's their team to practice against in the semi-pro bracket. So they played them all last year, and probably going to practice them all this year too, because it's Dave Baines' home field. It's kind of like us in Aftermath.
I was just going to say, I mean, there's stories like that throughout the paintball, you know, history that definitely happens a lot. That's one of the reasons that DMG is so good. And they have been dominating those lower divisions. They absolutely dominated semi-pro. And with Red Legion, the story with them is they lost all of the French mercenaries, those awesome Tauntaun players that have been really keeping them competitive, and now they really have to ride with these young Russian guys and their core veterans. Obviously, you got Krill Pridney out there. We know he's a known commodity. Krill's always going to be playing at a high level. He's very consistent. And they have some of these other attackers like Karslev. They need Polnikov to have a good event. But the veterans like Golev, Pridney, and Roznikov really need to step up.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, and just looking at him right now, and another thing about this field is you just got to keep being offensive. These DMG guy, he was staying in that back snake 1 for a long time, and then even now just being in snake 2 right here for the Russians, he could, this move in, there he goes, right into the brick here. That move's been open for a while. Now it's a 4 or 5 on 1 right now, so.
Yeah, not looking good for the Russians here in this first point. Little Joe Barrett run through to kill the last guy. And that is going to do it here for Russian Legion in this first one. You know, in their very first game, DMG, Tim Brusselback had a really good game. He's been real effective for them on the Snake side. So, but before we get into this next point, let's check in again with Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, X Factor has the early lead with 1 point against Uprising, but I did talk to Colt Roberts before their first match here in 2018, and he actually said they were feeling a little apprehensive coming into this weekend. They practiced last weekend against Impact, and apparently it didn't go very well, but luckily, as him and I discussed, practices don't really matter once you get here to the field for tournament weekends. We'll see if they can keep putting these points on the board.
Yeah, thanks, Lauren. So, well, they looked really good in that first point.
Yeah.
I think that the duo of Archie and, well, they've got a lot of versatile guys over there, but if they're going to run Archie and Billy on the Snake side, that's a potent combo. That D side's really effective. Blake had a really good game for you guys in that last one, just kind of walking into D4 constantly.
Yeah.
You know, and Todd was saying that if the tower gets off of him, Blake's like, oh, you're going to shoot Snake way? Well, I'm just going to walk right into way up on this D side.
Yeah.
So he was real effective at that.
Elevation was going 3 guys hard this way with the tower looking this way.
Yeah.
Blake was just like, all right, well, let's walk down to your side.
Yeah, I think we had just talked about it before. I was like, hey, if this guy's not looking at you, you can just walk down into that thing. And then I think the next game he did it. But it looks like Uprising losing 2 bodies really quickly. And Uprising almost has a little bit of a newer squad.
They do. Well, it's a lot of the similar guys, but they've lost a couple of their best guys.
Yeah.
They don't have Olsvik here. That's a hit. They don't have Nate Schrader, as he went to Infamous. That's a big hit. But if you look at their guys, I mean, they still have a very competitive roster. They have Joel Eaton, they got Tommy Tucker, Alexander Borromeo. He's great. We've seen Graham Arnold pull off crazy stuff. Brandon Olsen is a big, he's a great attacker for them. But look at this huge move coming through as Tucker rolling the dice over here on this side of the field, able to
Two-pack both of them.
Yeah, he gets both of them. But who's alive on, trying to see if there's any players left alive.
There's a guy in Uprising in the Dorito 3 over there. I think he made a move a little earlier there. He's not Dorito 4. So is it a 1-on-1 or a 2-on-1? I can't quite see.
So we got Graham Arnold, and it looks like Nick Sloviak, and Nick Sloviak just punks out Graham Arnold real quick. Woo. That was a quick 1-on-1 right there. Nice work by the rookie on X Factor.
Looks like Nick Sloviak earning that 6-figure deal he just signed with X Factor in that 1-on-1.
Looks like Graham was having some gun issues because his barrel's off of his gun right now. And that's...
Every time I lose a 1-on-1, I pull my barrel off, too.
That's a smart move. Pull your barrel loader off or something like that.
Man,
start like banging on your loader.
Yeah, run off pointing at your gun.
Pointing at everyone in the pits.
Gun!
Too easy.
Gun!
Too easy.
Yeah, so so Ryan, talk to me a little bit more about that D side of the field. I know you were in the center a little bit too. You had a great run through in the center there. You had a couple points where you were kind of struggling to live in that first match a little bit.
Oh, was I?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
All right.
No, so that Dorito side's really good, man. It's just really hard to stop the movement over there. There's only really 2 spots on the field that can stop the movement over there. And if you're not in the can, really, looking across, it seems like it's kind of tougher to get down there. And it looks like a lot of teams are just doing a one-man offensive move.
Well, that's kind of what the Russians are doing right now. I think that's Golev, Dennis Golev, shooting cross field to try to keep that D side honest, and then they get their first attacker into D3 very quickly.
Yeah, I don't know about that double up move, because we've toyed around with a lot of different options as far as where to go and what to do. Because if you were to leave that can and look heads up and then make an offensive move, that's when the Dorito guy's going to move. So that double up move that Malloy just did, was that Malloy? Yeah. He went in there and was kind of crouched down. That's a really dangerous thing to do, to be 2 guys in there. Just because it's a tight spot. That can's a really tight spot.
Yeah, I feel like that's 2 points in a row we've seen Red Legion go with the double.
2-man.
Yeah, 2 men in a bunker to double up.
Actually, I just don't like it. But I understand why they do it. The reason they're doing it is because they need someone to stay on a zone. The game before this, they were in the tower on the Dorito side, only staying Snake way. And this time they're in the can on the Snake side, staying Dorito way. And you need to still have an offense on that side. So they put another body in with them to hopefully hop past them. Sometimes it works, but it just makes the bunker really tight for that short amount of time.
Yeah. So now no one in the Snake, and looks like Malloy is going to get shot out of his spot in the temple here, Snake side of the field. So first to strike is DMG, 5 players alive for them. They have Brusselback in the Snake again. Such a consistent player over here so far. And they also have a player in D2, much better field position on the D side of the field for the Russians, as they have a body in D4.
Yeah, but the Snake 2 guy, is that Bristleback?
Yeah.
Oh, and then they just shoot the corner guy. So that corner, actually the Snake corner for Russian Legion who just died, that's a really tough spot to play because you can't quite shoot down the tape, the wire, unless you come swing a little wide. And if you swing a little wide, coming out on that tape line to shoot down the tape, the tower on the Snake side, the opponent's tower, can shoot directly down on top of your loader, which is, I think, what just happened.
Well, that's also the tower on the on our right-hand side, and everyone home on your right-hand side as well has an amazing shot. And the Ironman did a good job, actually, against you guys of constantly shooting your Snake player out from that side of the field.
So that was actually the tower that was on the Dorito side of the field, dropping it in on you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's one.
The right side of the field.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the Dorito side tower. Yeah, it's hard to. What we need to do is we need to lay out the bunker names beforehand so you could start.
I've been saying this for years. I want them to actually put, so on D1 you would literally have a D1 on that side of the field, and then you could have T1 for like Tower 1, and that way it would be really actually easy for everyone at home and for all of us to be able to identify.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice point here though from DMG, and that's now 2 points that the rookies here in the league have put up on a team that's won an event last year.
Right.
You know, so I understand that Red Legion's, again, dealing with trying to, they don't have any of those awesome Tauntaun players that they had for years now, and they're running with a solid Russian line, which puts a lot of weight on those younger Russian players and weight also on the veterans, which they should be able to bear. With what we saw out of them, they also don't have a couple of other players here. Smotrov's not here. He's one of their better attackers, but they do have players that should be, aggressive enough to do the job. Polnikov, Karslev, but running kind of a skeleton crew here. Normally Russians roll pretty deep.
Yeah, it definitely hurts to lose 2 of your starters, right? With Smotrov not being the one over here on the Snake side, and Axel Godin not being the one over there on the Dorito side, trying to figure out who's going to pick up that slack.
And that is unanswered because this is their first 2 points, and they've lost those first 2 points to Sacramento DMG. So now X Factor going to take the field again as we're getting a little bit of a look in the pits with Uprising. What's your favorite spot on the field right now, Ryan?
My favorite spot on the field, probably that Dorito 4.
Yeah, that's not, well, it seems to be D4 that seems to be the most effective, the spot everyone's trying to get to, and the most effective spot on that side of the field.
Yeah, because I think once you get around that corner, you can get up the field pretty quickly. As long as one of these center guys is not really on top, bearing down on top of you. That's why you've seen some really big moves happen over there. Greg Sewers was making some big moves against us over there as well.
He was. He almost pulled that 1 point off.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that later. Right now, Uprising, X Factor. So X Factor losing a body on that Dorito side of the field, and now it's like Archie going to get in the Snake. Billy right behind him. No one in the Snake for Uprising.
Yeah, now he can just go all the way down into, oh wait, they're in the Snake 1 now.
Yeah, Uprising just got in the Snake with Borromeo. Borromeo with some good communication. But pretty quickly, Montemayor now in Snake 3, and here comes Billy Bernacci right behind him. They also have the small wall bunker on the inside. You don't like that move?
I don't like Billy's move very much because watching the tape from there is not great. But it was nice that Archie realized he was there and he jumped over that Snake 3 beam and then went into the inside. That highway move into that 50 block is really good.
What do you think about where Woodley is right now? On the right-hand side of your screen.
So the problem is Woodley can't stop any movement either. They're kind of all on lay-down spots. The Uprising guys should be dominating their guns down the tape and wrapping, and the Uprising guy should get in there and bunker Archie. And if he bunkers Archie, you can probably get LJ also. All they need to do is have some pressure down the tape. The best
to put pressure on Billy.
Yeah, you just need to put pressure on Billy, and you can come right around this corner and shoot these guys directly in the back.
Saw a cameraman over there head check out of that Dorito 4, and Archie put 3 right in his grill. I mean, that was a great shot right there.
So Archie at that 50 brick over here on the Snake side of the field, and then now looks like Borromeo improves his position.
Okay, so now I see where the slowdown is happening. So you see Grayson Goff in that Dorito side tower, which is the one we were looking at. He's the one slowing down the Uprising guy going down the Snake.
Well, that's that shot we were
That's the shot that we were talking about. And right now what Grayson did is he said, hey, he just moved into the Snake 2. He's coming Archie, and then now Archie is now addressing him down the tape.
But the taller you are, the better that shot is.
Yeah, trust me, I was in there. I've been in there.
Billy Bernacci tries to back up into that Snake tower, gets picked off.
Was that Arnold? Did Graham Arnold just pick him off?
Not sure. Oh, yeah, probably, because he can see that.
Yeah.
He can see that shot.
Well, it wasn't Borromeo, and it wasn't, I think that's Olsen behind him. No, it's just Tucker. It must have been Graham Arnold.
That was an interesting move by Archie.
Well, Archie,
the reverse highway move.
The tactical retreat highway move.
So what needs to happen now is is Uprising needs to work together on the snake side and put Archie in down the tape, and then they can get into that 50 brick. But what LJ is doing right now on your screen, looking to the right-hand side of the field, he's trying to stop the movement. There it is, right into that Dorito 4. So he can stop the movement when he gets a little further up the field. And actually, I think they can get in a little bit of a battle right here.
So Woodley now going to try to get a shot on D4. Not really a great shot, though, right?
No, it's not. You really have to thread the needle, because what you guys can't see very well is right behind the 50 center 50 giant brick, there's another laydown W, and that thing, it kind of lines up perfectly. So as you can see right over the top of your screen, you can see that little mini wall bunker. So LJ has to kind of thread the needle right over the top of the little nipple, I guess you'd call it, of the W, just to get into that Dorito 4. But
and Woodley's been concentrating on that side pretty much the whole time. Now Archie is back, and I mean, it was a smart move on conventional, but he got back there, and because there's no more Billy Bernacci over here. But it looks like Archie wins his battle
down the tape.
Yeah, with the Tucker in the back corner bunker.
Yeah, and actually, believe it or not, Archie has the snake guy almost has the dominance or the upper hand battling the corner guy, because the corner guy has to come so far out wide just to shoot down the tape, and you're just tied in there shooting down the tape, so he kind of comes into your gun every time that he wants to battle.
Yeah, that's it. That's if you're good at gun battling from that kneel position instead of being up on your feet, which is a little bit better traditionally, but I totally agree with what you're saying.
Well, what I'm saying actually is because the corner guy has to come out wide in the open, so he's not snap shooting from in his bunker, he's snap shooting like kind of out.
And then you got to worry about other angles.
You're also battling Archie,
Archie,
tape, so.
Exactly. But Borromeo's still holding strong in here as this long point has been taken off. But it's really up to Uprising. I mean, they're the ones that are down 2 points here. They have good field position. Borromeo's in good field position. You have Graham Arnold in the center, and they also have penetration on that D side in D4. So looking pretty solid as far as position is concerned.
And it looks like Grayson Goff left that tower and went to the Dorito corner, which becomes a really tight spot, but a good spot. Ooh, nice toss.
Looks like Graham Arnold just throws Joel Eaton a pod over to that Dorito 4.
Goes him strike
there. Dealing with Woodley. Woodley just waiting on that gap.
Well, this point doesn't look like it's going anywhere fast. So the fact that Eaton's already out of paint is not necessarily a good thing. Okay, yeah, you just get a pod from Graham, but Graham, it looks like he might only have maybe 1 on 2 on his back. So look at this though. Graham Arnold is now going to try to crawl off out of the wedge, and he's going to stay out in the blind, out in that open area.
Yeah, I've actually played around over there a little bit. Alex did a little bit better job than I did. But when you lay down around that corner, so what he's doing is blocking out the Dorito corner. You kind of can't see him on this angle that we have, but he's right behind that big center. Oh, he's in the center 50 block now.
So that was a good move. Nice job by Arnold to get creative to get up there.
And this is where the win comes from. It comes from somebody being really creative up that center, because right now LJ is locking off the Dorito side, so none of the Uprising guys can move past that Dorito 4. These guys right here on your screen are on a gunfight down the tape.
Straight up gunfight. Borromeo's not going to look inside, though. It looks like he's trying to get a shot on Woodley, but he doesn't have a shot from there. And Grayson moved off that spot.
So I think
Borromeo's just trying to find any shot on that inside.
Yeah, and Archie.
So Archie uses that when Borromeo's checking to the inside as he gets into Snake 3.
But it looks like Graham.
Do you like Snake 2 or Snake 3 better?
None of those. I don't like any of them. So Snake 3 is a little better because you have shots on the corner in the Dorito 1. But right now the Dorito 3 just got shot
by Woodley, trying to make that move to shoot Woodley.
So Woodley stays on that lane the entire point, and it finally works out in his advantage as he gets that kill. So nice patience from Woodley. Graham Arnold's still alive though from Uprising.
And he's low on paint, I think. He needs to be putting a lot more pressure on. Oh, he's got another pod.
And here comes the move from Alexander Borromeo, and does he get both of them? Ooh. Doesn't get both. He does get Archie. Woodley.
I like that move right there, but Woodley was just a little too quick for him.
But Woodley gets shot by Arnold, but unfortunately there's not enough bodies because Eaton died. So though it was an aggressive attempt from Arnold and Borromeo, and I like the staggered attack there, there's just, you only need one guy left alive. So nice job by Grayson to stay alive over there and be that last man standing to put the point on the board for X Factor.
And we got him, Graham's unscrewing his barrel, checking the barrel for some broken paint. Now that was a really good move on his part, is as soon as he saw that commotion go down on the snake side, because Woodley actually turned around in because he knows he was coming. So watch here as he pops over the top, comes over here, trades out with Archie down the tape. And what that did is it made LJ switch and look on the inside right here. And Graham comes up the center, but LJ was just quick enough.
Nice job by Woodley to have his wits about him, and he just switched positions on the bunker, trades out with Graham, and Grayson was left alive to win the point. So now after a real long point, getting back into this match with Russian Legion and Sacramento DMG, it's Sacramento DMG 2, Red Legion 0.
And DMG losing their snake guy.
Yeah, so Brusselback takes the early walk. Haven't seen him die early too many times, so that's a really good player for the Russians to get off the field right now. Actually make that, now 2 kills for Russian Legion. This is what they needed. You don't want to go down 3 points to any team, even if it is the rookies in the Pro Division. So now Malloy gonna get into Snake 1. He's gonna go right to Snake 3.
So this guy standing up on your screen, on the left-hand side of your screen, he can see down on top of the snake. So it's actually a pretty solid spot to be in. Malloy may have gotten shot.
Well, Malloy got through that lane, it looks like.
Yeah, so I don't know if you noticed, I don't know if we were looking at it, but the DMG guy had his gun down. Malloy's just gonna come behind him and shoot all these guys now.
Malloy's just...
That's why I like that brick. Second favorite spot on the field, the 50 brick.
Yeah, the 50 brick is pretty dominant. I mean, it should be. It's a giant, huge bunker on the 50-yard line. So nice job by Alexander Burtnikov, one of the legends in this sport, holding it down for Russian Legion. Going to put their first point of 2018 up on the board right now and make it a 1-point match with 8 minutes to go. Nice job by Kirill, as always, staying alive there.
Go, boys, come on.
Slowiak, Roberts, Bonaccia. Looks like Alex Martinez is going to get a spin out here, along with Kovar.
There we go.
Give those guys a break. Played that long point.
Yeah, look for a little bit more of a slow point. I mean, Billy's still in, Billy and Kovar, and Colt, so they might be coming down a little heavier on that Dorito side with Michael and
well, and that's the benefit of having a little bit of a deeper roster.
Oh, yeah.
Uprising doesn't have the luxury of putting a fresh squad out there. They have to run with, you know, I mean, they have some guys. I mean, they have 8 guys, but with the hits they took to their top level guys, you're going to want to field your best players as much as possible. Whereas X Factor is just a deeper team. You know, of course they are. It's the San Antonio X Factor, one of the most consistent teams ever. So right now, X Factor up by 3 on Uprising. 4:41 to go, and now a little bit of breath of fresh air for Uprising as a minor penalty assessed.
And they shot Billy off the break, so they shot 2 guys off the break, and one of them got a minor, so it's a 5-on-2 right now.
Kovar. Kovar is ripping his pack off. Doesn't think that he got hit. You see this a lot when guys get pulled on penalties, and it's a hit on the pack, and he's looking for the hit on his pack.
Well, I'm confused too because I thought Billy got the penalty and Kovar was pulled, but the referee that threw the penalty went and pulled another guy as well.
So James Creek, one of the new guys over here on Uprising, alive to hit that buzzer.
So I'd be curious to see who that penalty was on, if it was on Billy or on Kovar. Well, Kovar doesn't know.
It looks like, I mean, when you see a guy rip his pack off and do the, where am I hit? Where's the hit, ref? Normally it's that guy, but maybe he got pulled out just because they thought he was hit. It all happened so fast, couldn't exactly see it.
Yeah, I think the referee just told the other referee that it was Kovar in the pack shooting heads up, and that's why he went and pulled the back center guy.
Right. They definitely looked like they pulled the penalty on Kovar, but it could have been just a little nick on his pack. That can is actually not incredibly safe to make it to, especially if you're running and shooting. It's shootable. It's definitely shootable.
Talk about the can?
Snake side can.
Well, that was one of the bunkers that everyone, you know, was calling around talking to everybody about how the field was playing. That was one of another consensus was that guy's going to die every now and then.
Yeah.
It's a tough spot.
It's a tough spot.
Yeah.
And I died going to that Dorito side tower.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, without a big bunker in the middle anymore, paint is coming right back at you.
Oh, yeah.
You can see your opponents across the field. You're not blocked out.
And look at the Russians coming in big right now. They shot now 2 guys off the snake side of the field. They're going to look for them to get into that 50 brick and start wrapping. No one can really stop him right now. He needs to get across that lane.
Yeah, I saw Kirill do that a few times in practice. He really liked to run up through that Dorito side seam, play that big, tall tower and that center 50 brick. As looks like Karslev is over here And the 50 brick on the snake side.
The move is when you shoot the snake side out is to start wrapping. The back center's on him, but you just...
So with 7 minutes to go here, very close match. Russians pushing the issue past the 50-yard line in the center. Bodies falling all over the place for DMG, and here comes the attack from the Russians, and DMG forced to concede. So just got a little information, Ryan. Looks apparently, giant surprise, but apparently you're the kill count leader for this event. 14 confirmed kills.
All right, well, look at that.
If it's 14, then it's probably closer to 27. You know,
20,
probably missed a couple.
28 kills, bro. 36.
36 kills, because that's how old I am right now.
Yeah.
400.
So 14 confirmed kills. You know, but before this event, you were like, oh man, shoulder this, back that, bro, not getting any younger. I'm like, what are you talking about, man?
Well, listen.
You still look like you're 25.
Me doing this and that, we were on the phone actually, and I was going in to get cryotherapy.
Cryotherapy. Getting into the float tanks.
Yeah.
No,
I'm not a huge fan of the float tanks, and I'm not eating keto. I'm kind of eating whatever I want. I actually hate the float tanks. They're really uncomfortable. But I am stretching a lot. I do have some minor injuries. I'm going in for a handful of MRIs. I'm going to try to get a full body one.
I need an everything scan.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, look, if I'm going to be in that machine for 45 minutes, let's just make it an all-day thing. If you're already doing two parts of my body, let's ramp it up and get the whole body. Look at this, though. Uprising getting 2 more quick kills. They shot Archie, which is a huge kill, and Billy Bernacci both walked off the field. Woodley filled out to that snake corner, and I think that is a huge kill or key move. If we lose this snake side, the only thing that can stop the movement now is this corner. So you need to try to get out there as quickly as you possibly can.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of guys attempt to do that. I think teams are picking up on that. It's just, can you make it out there? Because it can be a big field depending on what just went down and where you're at.
Well, and that's the beauty about this field is because there's so many stand-up things and because that center 50 brick, or sorry, the snake 50 brick is so big, you can usually make it out there, to be honest.
And here comes Olsen. Yeah, a lot of guys been making it, but a lot of guys been getting shot,
You can make that by, ooh, Olsen just shot him in the pack. And that Colt in the pack, and Colt was trying to get around the corner on him.
Olsen is just up here doing damage on X Factor's side of the field. 2 players left alive. Grayson gets decimated. Looks like Colt got peeled off too. That leaves just Woodley in that back corner bunker we were just talking about.
It's a 3-on-1 actually. Woodley shot 2 guys across the field already.
Tommy Tucker trying to close this one out.
Here it comes.
And he's going to stitch up Woodley to finish off this point, and we got ourselves a 1-point game with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go.
Both points Uprising. One has been by Tommy Tucker making a big move down here the snake side.
Well, remember we had Alex Gray up here, and with his injury, he can't play. That would be his position potentially, but now Tommy Tucker, who is he's the captain of this team, and that's what Alex said. He's like, Tommy's going to have to get it done in the snake for us, and getting it done in the snake for him right now. It's one of the reasons that they have 2 points on the board. Also, what a great move by Olsen past the 50-yard line in that center of the field. Now, DMG and the Russians going to be taking the field to play their next point.
Yeah, both of these games actually turned out to be a pretty solid contentions. I think the first 2 points were close.
Well, and look at the FanWagon predictions. It wasn't close on the FanWagon predictions. Right. Russians 70-30 over DMG, and San Antonio X Factor a big 80% over Uprising 20.
Yeah, I mean, I'd bet on San Antonio X Factor. The DMG guys, I got to play against them one time out in Australia, like the end of last year, and those guys played really, really well.
So
that was the first time I'd really seen.
The one time you got to play the team from Northern California was in Australia?
Yeah, how funny is that?
That is pretty funny.
Yeah. But no, they played really well. So I mean, and with a revamped Russian roster, I would have given it a little more of a 50-50 kind of look. But the Russians are definitely getting that shot down on that snakeside tower, because that's the 2nd time in a row they've shot him off the break. Actually, 3rd time maybe.
Well, the Russians are notorious for shooting bodies off the break. It's one of their assets.
Yeah, and it's Malloy from the back center. And see, watch Malloy coming straight up this seam all the way into that 50 brick. Well, you just see the brick move on your guys' screen.
But yeah, Malloy is up there at that center 50. It looks like Barrett is going to get shot out of Snake 1 for DMG. And there is Alexander Britnikoff, a.k.a. Malloy. And it's going to be a good point here for Moscow to tie this one up with not a ton of time left. So Moscow has woken up a little bit here. To even things up. See if X Factor can continue their role, or will it be an upset here with Uprising?
Yeah, and that was actually a pretty quick point. So, you know, the X Factor and Uprising guys didn't really have much time to go out there and really like talk about stuff. I mean, I know we were rushed and we had a lot of time in our games. So look at that, taking a timeout right now. So timeout taken by, do we know what side? Maybe the...
I'm guessing it's probably Uprising, no?
Well, one of the two squads took a timeout, and just kind of like what I was saying, there was a really quick point, and if you're going to have to turn it around that quickly, especially if you're either on the losing side or even if you have the momentum, the Uprising guys have the momentum, but they're also running that skeleton crew that we're talking about.
Yeah, and this game brought to you by Carbon Paintball. Go to carbonpaintball.com, check out the 2018 team sponsorship program. Big fan of what they're doing over at Carbon, making some really high-level products. If you're looking for like entry-level stuff, no, that's not their stuff. That's like top-of-the-line, amazing gear that Carbon's pumping out. But talking about timeouts, Ryan and Todd, it's like, to me, there's 3 reasons you call timeout. 1, to slow the momentum of the other team. 2, to fix any gear issue that suddenly crept up. Or 3, what you were just talking about, like, oh my God, we don't have the plan yet. That just happened real quick. Let's call a timeout, or let's get set on this.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is.
You got any other reasons for me, Todd?
I mean, equipment issues. Todd has a better understanding of maybe the coaching thing of when and why.
I feel like chilling, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just want to hit it.
Take a breather.
Grab a cold Gatorade.
On the breakout, looks like Billy Bernacci going all the way to the snake off the break untouched. He makes it in there clean.
Oh, nope, he is shot off the break.
Oh, did he? Oh, wow, looked like he got in there clean, but got caught. So Billy down now from X Factor. 4 bodies alive for them. Only 2 minutes and 20 seconds left to go. Just 1 point separates these teams.
And Uprising has the body position and the field position up in that center 50, up into Dorito 2 right now. I don't know where X Factor still has a guy in the back center. So I'll tell you my least favorite bunker on the field, back center.
Yeah.
I hate that spot. I think it's a bad spot to be in.
We've watched a lot of guys die out of the back center.
Yeah, man, you just have no shots on the snake side. You have no shots on the snake side. You can only see the Dorito side when the guy moves past Dorito 3. But if the person plays it right over there, they can get past your gun, no problem. But look at that, Archie getting out to the corner and shooting Uprising's corner guy, so evening it up 4-on-4.
But Olsen in really good field position again for Uprising in the center.
Yeah, and I don't know who that is for Uprising on that Dorito 2 over there, but they should be able to make a move out of that little Dorito.
I think it's probably Eaton Todd. Borromeo, the versatile man. He was in the snake earlier. Now he's over on the D side. Graham Arnold's going to come over. We're getting a look at Olsen way up at the 50 in the center, at that center 50 brick. Graham Arnold now moving up to the wedge, and it looks like Woodley's going to come off here for X Factor, opening the door slightly for Uprising. Can they do it with 1 minute and 6 seconds left to go? They have a 1-body advantage. They're trying to get themselves into position to attack.
Man, they're in good spots right now. Who is that over there for X Factor? Is that Colt Roberts in the tower looking Dorito away?
Colt Roberts is in the stand-up tower.
Yes.
Yes, that is Colt Roberts. And it looks like Olsen is going to get taken out, trying to push forward. That leaves just Creek over here. James Creek, one of the new players on Uprising, trying to play the hero right now. Graham Arnold cuts to the center too. Creek past the 50-yard line. And X Factor is just digging in tough, holding in those back spots. Archie trades out with Creek. Hey, here comes Arnold.
That corner guy's hit.
Corner guy's hit. Just shot at a guy. No penalty. And they're going to score this point.
So is that Grayson back there?
No. Oh, so Grayson was in the can.
So Grayson,
in the tower.
Yeah. So it was.
That was Colt in the corner. Colt got shot in the pack. The ref was calling him out. Colt then shot the guy running up the center.
Yes. Grayson in the tower. Colt in the back corner. So you're saying Colt took one.
Colt got shot down the table.
Like it, yeah.
The ref called him out and then called him out again and then had to run in there and pull him out. And it was probably like a nick on the pack, but.
So we were looking at that. I didn't get a chance to glance at the clock. How much time's left? Did you guys get a chance?
20.
I'm gonna guess 23.
23 seconds.
I had the inside scoop on that one.
Yeah, so 23 seconds left to go.
And tied up, though.
And so, I mean, it's getting as interesting as it could. I mean, you have Uprising, who lost arguably some of their better players in Nate Schrader and Olsevic, but hanging tough with one of the best teams out here in San Antonio X Factor. So maybe San Antonio X Factor coming in a little bit flat. Maybe a little too confident, you think, maybe against Uprising?
Did either one of the two teams get a game before this to play?
This is X Factor and Uprising's first match.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean that was a little bit of an issue for us going into the match against the Ironmen, who had already played a game, and they're warm. You know, we were coming in cold, so it's definitely an advantage over there. So it looks like it's a 4-on-4 right now. DMG down 1 point, but even on bodies, pretty much even on field position too. Both teams have the Snakeside can crossed up, the Snakeside towers heads up, and the Dorito side towers also crossed up. I'm now making a move over there.
Yeah, it was Polnikov, one of those young Russians that needs to play well here, walking off early. And they have a 1-point lead, though. A lot more time in this match, 5 minutes and 29 seconds. But Malloy tries to get into Snake 1, and he gets clipped out on the top of his pod on his pack. And then Brusselback, he tries to get in this Snake, and he gets clipped out as well.
Wow. So it was the Dorito 3 player for the Russians who shot the DMG player diving into that Snake. I don't know who shot Malloy, but it looks like the Russians just lost another body. And it is a 3-on-2 right now.
Yeah, Dennis Kolev is also checking his pack out, and he walks off, but then it looks like...
Sloppy play right there, but bounced.
Bounced, so DMG riding on the ragged edge over here gets bounced, but bounces don't count, so he's still alive, under 5 minutes to go. But DMG trying to tie this game up. Some action on the D side, and looks like they trade out. Still leaves Joe Barrett over here for Sacramento DMG.
Barrett picks up Rosnikov trying to come back from that Dorito corner to the Dorito tower.
Barrett trying to look at the clock, see how much time's left, and make sure that everyone's dead. They're gonna run in, hit that buzzer.
That was close though, man. Both those DMG guys went in there to Snake 1 sloppy like it was a gimme. You can't do that.
No.
That's one of the things that I teach a lot in those clinics is be explosive. But you gotta, and we say it all the time in practice. Like, don't let up. Don't think it's a gimme getting into these spots. You really got to dig and you really got to fight out here, man. And that almost was the turning point of the game.
Speaking of clinics, you got any clinics coming up you want to plug?
Yeah, well, I'm headed out to Australia. I have the weekend off next weekend. I'm heading out to Australia for the first leg of the Australian Master Super 7 events. And then I'm headed up to Indonesia for a clinic. Back up there, that's gonna be a fun one. We got this.
Yeah. Gonna head on up to Indonesia.
I'm gonna go on a nice little surf trip, get a little sun, get myself in the salt water as much as I possibly can, and then headed straight over to Paris after that. And then we have this big summer camp that we're releasing. I'm stoked on that. It's out in Boston, the Paintball Pro, BKI Pro summer camp. It's gonna be a really cool event.
Nice.
Yeah. Little sleepovers, water balloon fights, trout fishing.
Wiffle ball tournaments.
Yeah, what do you do at camp aside from, and we're going to play tons of paintball.
All right, so 20 seconds left to go. See if one team prevails or if we're going to head to our first overtime of the tournament so far. X Factor on your screen on the right-hand side, all tied up with Uprising, and we are most likely going to see an overtime point.
Yeah, it looks like X Factor took a bouncer going into that Snakeside can too. I don't know. He's just in there hiding. Michael, or?
Yeah. Second time they've shot him going there.
Yeah. That's a shot, man. Marcelo was doing it. Marcelo and Yosh are definitely doing the best shooting off the break right now for us.
Yeah, Yosh was roping people off the break. Marcelo had some really clutch points for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You guys look pretty good today.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, hey, we're stoked to be in that driver's seat.
I mean, you were kind of hit or miss, but you know everyone else is playing pretty good.
I know. You got to be on me.
No, I'm just messing with you.
You're giving me a tough time. I'm over here trying to try my best, man. But it looks like you know we had to come back against the Ironmen, and then we had a couple small hiccups against the Elevation guys. They're really bringing it. Those guys are playing well. Actually, both so far what I've seen in the rookie squads out here, they're all playing pretty well.
So get right into this overtime point here, and unfortunately for the Russians,
this one's not an overtime point. This is just tied up.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Back into this match. More time on this one. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left, but a tie game. And Russians losing 2 bodies. And here goes Brusselback making his way to that 50-yard line. And Snake, man, I really like what I'm seeing out of Tim Brusselback. Tim Brusselback is playing some good paintball today for DMG.
But here's the thing. This is the first time he's done that. Right,
the first time he's played good paintball.
Well, no, well, since what I've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, this is their first match, right? No, this is their second match.
This is
So
their
you guys
second
got to watch
match.
one.
They played New York Extreme their first one, and Brusselback had a game.
Right, had a game. So Brusselback in this match right now, that was the first time he's been up there quickly and aggressively and actually getting some production out of it. Before, he hides in the back in the Snake 1 and just kind of waits and waits and waits. That was the first time, and he got shot off the break going into the tower twice.
He did get shot off the break.
You know, so that was the first time he made it in there. And actually capitalized on this field position, and that's the move. Is you need to get into this 50s.
If there's no one, particularly if there's no one in front of you.
Particularly if there's no one in front of you. But even if you have dominance on the tape and it's you and somebody behind you, and you can put pressure down the tape, go down there, right?
What do you do if the guy is in the 50 on the snake side of the field? You do lose your snake side, and you have to try to deal with him.
Try to fill out to the corner. You got to match him. You got to match him. Otherwise, he's going to be wrapping, and if that's not the case, then you kind of got to wheel, like an earthquake, or what are those old school calls that you guys used to yell in the woods? Like bird on the wire.
Yeah, bird on a wire.
Bird on a wire.
Bird on a wire. That's exactly bird on a wire, man. It's just me, man.
Right, or like so you yell something.
So. Yeah, so we definitely have some. Todd, you want to grab those prizes behind you? So yeah, we have some prizes for my fan wagon.
Talking about these prizes?
Yeah, so we got a shocker, and we'll have to do a little unboxing. Ryan, you do a lot of unboxings.
Do I?
Don't you?
Sure. You just unzip it, right?
Something like that.
Okay, let's see, what do we got? Oh, we got a PB swag bag. Do we open that thing? Never mind, no we don't.
That's not a prize. That's just a PB swag bag.
Yeah, so
you
we got
get that,
it's in here somewhere, and
you ain't got to win
really
anything
pretty.
to get a PB swag bag.
Yeah.
All right, let's check them both teams out in the overtime point. This is actually an overtime point, and 2 bodies walking off the field for X Factor. It is now a 5-on-3. Uprising is up. Let's see, getting checked out up the center. Oh, and a minor making it 3-on-3 right now. Wow. What a turn of events. And now it's even 3-on-3 right now.
So this is that overtime point. First overtime point of the tournament. Tommy Tucker on your screen, having a good game here for Uprising, and it's all locked up at 3.
We got Archie and Billy.
And on the player count.
Ooh, no one saw him getting the snake. Oh.
So this is
the move right here. He needs to jump across this gap as fast as possible.
This is James Creek. Billy Bernaccia gets in there he gets into the snake for X Factor, and James Creek gets right to the 50-yard line here. This is what you're talking about.
Yeah, so the problem is right now they didn't do it quick enough to be able to capitalize on Billy, and Archie still in those towers, and he can't see anything across the field. The only way to get a shot on who is that LJ over in the Dorito corner, because you see right now on the screen, the pin blocks out that Dorito corner. So Creek doesn't really know exactly what's going on as far as field positioning. So the only way he's going to be able to shoot that guy is if he backs all the way back up to Snake 3, he can get a shot in the corner. Or if LJ makes a move.
So now Billy Bernaccia improves his position by 1 notch of the snake. He's now in Snake 2. On the far right-hand portion of your screen, there's Tommy Tucker backing up Creek.
But I kind of do like this play, this setup right now.
So you want the guy in the back corner while he's at the 50. You don't want him to get in the snake like you were saying before.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't like 2 guys lined up there because then you're going to end up shooting each other in the back.
Even though it's harder to control from the back.
Right. It is a little harder to control. This isn't a bad move. As long as Creek, what they need to do is have Creek switch and look inside. And hopefully Billy comes to get him because now they're set up. See how you can see over. Oh, now he's kind of running back again.
So Tommy Tucker playing all over the place over here. Started in the back corner, went up, and then came back over here to the tower. Sometimes that works out because in your head checking, you're like, is there more than one guy? And then Creek loses a gunfight up over the top. That was not the death that we were looking for here. Bad death for James Creek, and he knows it, shaking his head, frustrated that he let his team down in that one. He was in the spot.
So this is now Uprising is making a move on that Dorito side. He just needed to not stop at Dorito 3. Dorito 3 is where he made the mistake of stopping because if he goes one more spot up to that Dorito 4, remember that's my favorite spot.
Yep.
He has a shot on Archie's pack.
And Archie had no idea he moved.
Correct. No one knows where he is over there. So he has the ball and he can make this game. He can win this game right here. He just needs to be able to get into that Dorito 4 and get a shot across the field. Right there on Archie's pack. Nope, missed it.
Graham Arnold on your screen for Uprising in Ryan's favorite spot, D4.
But look at this big move right here by LJ. So LJ Woodley is in the Dorito 3 for X Factor. It's a 2-on-3. X Factor's in Snake 3. Archie's in the can. Minute 44. I don't see this game going to a stalemate right now. Ooh.
I don't know, man. Minute 35 left.
No, the X Factor's going to win this one.
X Factor coming through. Trying to get the drop on Graham Arnold, and he does.
Huge
Was that
move.
Woodley?
Yeah, that was Woodley. Moved in from the Dorito 3 all the way into the inside to that little laydown W. Now it's a 3-on-1. So Uprising really threw this one away, and the way they did that is Creek making that move, just popping over the top of this 50. So there's still a minute left, and it looks like they're just going to probably close this one out there.
Yeah, and
Tucker gets shot out.
Nothing Tucker could do in that position, really, in a 1-on-3, and it was close, but nice move by Woodley to get the drop on Arnold as he made his move in the center. Arnold was at D4. Arnold had no idea that he was there, and got shot in the head, and then they closed out the point to win the game. So congratulations to a hard-fought battle here. San Antonio X Factor is going to win their first one. That was that tough death for James Creek. Beautiful move there by Woodley. Just posts up, waits for Arnold to head check, and then just dots his eye, and immediately gets set up for the next kill. And there's Tommy Tucker trying to hold it down in the back corner bunker. Too many guns, though.
Yeah, that was an inexperience right there. That was Creek trying to do too much, create too much out of nothing. He's trying to battle, over the top against Archie. Archie only has one spot to shoot at, really. He just needed to relax in there and play a 3-on-3 game. Yeah. Not try to win that.
Still, though, if you're Uprising with the losses that they took, personnel-wise,
awesome
to come out here and play San Antonio X Factor, who hasn't missed a Sunday in like 3 years. So now back into this match here with Red Legion and DMG. DMG, the rookies in here, playing a team that won an event last year, and they're up by a point. 3 minutes and 48 seconds to go. Could we see an upset victory? We are going to find out shortly. Looks like a good break for the Russians. 5 players alive for them. DMG did lose 1 body.
Yeah, the Russians have really good field positioning right now. They're a little heavier up in the center of the field, which I like that too, man. I really like that center. There's a lot of stuff you can create out there.
So the man taking the early walk here for DMG was Barrett, Joe Barrett, who's been playing pretty well for DMG, and here comes Russell back again.
And what did I say, though? What was the difference in his play on this one versus the last one?
Get into the 50. I wish you'd saw the first game, because he had some really good moves in the first game.
I believe you,
unfortunately. Unfortunately, though, that's not a good one here, as he's going to take the walk. You can see a frustrated shake of the head for him, and here comes a big move from the Russians, getting into the 50, stacking up more at those 50s. Look, Krill Pridney is up at the center 50.
So there was a penalty flag that just flew in the air. Did you guys see that? I don't know if they pulled anybody.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see a flag either. Where'd it come from?
I saw the flag. I didn't see the body.
Yeah, the flag came right here from the snake side. It looked like might have been Bresselback, but I couldn't quite tell.
Krill Pridney putting himself in good position right now, looking to attack, checking off on the snake side, just making double sure that there's no one over there. Golev behind him. And they're trying to close out here to tie this game up. 2:13 to go. 2 players left alive right now for DMG. On that D side, looks like Krill might have got that kill. He does. Let's see if Krill can get a 2-pack here to close it out. Krill, the veteran, the leader of this team, and he is going to be able to do it. He's going to run in and hit that. Also, got to mention, a couple years ago, Krill blew out his Achilles tendon. We didn't ever think that he might have not ever been able to play paintball again. Sometimes that ruins an athlete's career, but he was able to come back from that huge injury to lead this team, and they're going to tie it up. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Hey guys, I'm here with John Woodley. Congratulations on that first win of 2018. Now, you were standing here though and telling me it was too close for comfort for you guys going into overtime. And I actually talked to Colt before your match, and he said he was a little apprehensive coming into this weekend because you guys didn't have the best practices.
Yeah.
So break down that match for me. What do you think you need to tighten up?
Honestly, I mean, we came to practice yesterday before the event, and we just actually got a bunch of different looks playing Aftermath, and so we're kind of a few days behind and trying them out today. So, yeah, it was a little different getting used to the box with 3 guys going one way. We don't want to trip on each other, but you also want to have good shots, those shooters. So it took a little bit, and I don't know. I'm glad we're having this interview and we got the W for sure.
Absolutely. Now, you were one of the key communicators out there on the field. I heard you yelling it up the whole time, which has been a problem for some teams here, communication. But also, you're a clutch center player for X Factor. Obviously, with the center bunkers being so different this year, talk to me about where you prefer to be on the field, what bunkers you prefer.
Prefer to be. I mean, I prefer where I have the communication, right? It's so important, especially on these fields, that you can't really see that car wash in the 50. You can't really see who you shoot on the break. And once you're up there, it's so important to have that communication of where those guys are shooting. You know, so that goes on our guys out wide, telling us where those center guys are and where they're shooting. And if you're in the center and you hear where they are and what they're doing, you know how to break down that center. So it's all about communication.
I think that communication definitely helped you guys take that win in overtime, so
so
congratulations. Back to you guys.
Yeah, standout play from LJ Woodley in that overtime point to get the victory for San Antonio X Factor. And now we're waiting for this next point. Also remember, you guys want to watch some more professional paintball, make sure you sign up for Go Sports for tomorrow's action, and Sunday when it all goes down, we're going to see who's going to win this. Speaking of going down, we got one of the best team in the world, unarguably, for the past 2 years. Edmonton Impact will be taking the field to play their first game against Chicago Aftershock coming up in the next set. You see there are some of the boys getting ready to go. Brandon Cornell, Nick Laval coming up next here on Go Sports. Again, brought to you free and live by the NXL here on Friday's prelim competition. I'm Manny Marshall up here with Ryan Greenspan from San Diego Dynasty, coach of the Ironman and legend in the game, Todd Martinez. And it's been a very interesting day so far. We've seen some blowouts, we've seen some close games, we've seen some upsets. Also, do not forget, you want to play some fantasy paintball, there are big prizes to win. Sign up at myfanwagon.com, download the app. You get a shocker for first place, and that's in the free one. EVS goggles for second, $1,000 on the line in the VIP. Get a Vanquish GT for second, and the big season prize, one of the Ferraris in the game here, the Lux Ice. So there is the lineup, the all-Russian crew. None of the French mercenaries out here, as the Tauntauns are actually here playing in semi-pro. We may see them on Sunday afternoon on this field, maybe trying to earn themselves a professional spot in the 2019 season.
Yeah, I thought for some reason that they were playing in the pro division already.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, but I guess, you know, bringing the other 4 teams up, they just weren't. They weren't one of those guys. But they will be playing in the pro league out in Europe, though.
They have a new team, right? They lost a few guys. Axel, really one of the only guys that's still there.
It's a pretty new team from what I've heard.
I mean, it's kind of rebuilding, right?
Yeah, they got a couple of the older guys, but not a lot. And then I think Tavares had some sort of health issue. Anyway, minute and 15 seconds left to go here. It is tied at 4. Who is going to win this match, DMG or the Russian Legion?
And the Russians lost 1 player already, so it's a 5-on-4. DMG sitting in that back center spot again. He can't see anything over here, and this is where the game can be won right here. Russians getting into that 50 snake. He needs to wrap around and he'll start getting these kills. There we go, shot the tower. Now he's gonna wrap around and shoot the can right here. Shooting at his feet right now. But that's that look right there. And now someone's trying to fill out to the corner, and he made it out to the corner.
Through some streams.
That's crazy. He saw him fill out there. What did he? Oh,
so
wow.
he fills out and gets the shot on him, and now pushing forward here, and DMG launching an attack up the center, but they not able to make it past the 50. Gets mowed down.
And Malloy hears the communication from Sergey across the field in 3-1.
Oh, dice is up, Kim, and here comes Malloy on the attack. It's another one. Now it's going to get a 3-pack to win this point.
Oh my God, what are these guys looking at?
Alexander Brudnikov just somehow, some way, every single event finds a way to do that. Pull off a miraculous 3-pack with guns like completely turn the opposite way, just decides to go at the perfect moment. Beautiful job, Alexander Brudnikov.
The interesting thing is the DMG guys, it wasn't even that their guns were turned the other way. So the Snake 3 guy had already been shot, was getting pulled out. But then there was 2 guys over on the DMG side who were like looking at him. How do you not see out of your periphery? I guess he's kind of smaller, but like he was running. He missed the guy on DMG with his first 5 or 6 shots, and the DMG guy still had his gun down, kind of confused in the center of the field. Then, you know,
surprised him.
It was definitely a surprise.
Art of War, man. You know,
surprise. Is that the Art of War? That's one of the things. A surprise.
Surprise is definitely one of the things.
Surprise.
So we're also looking in the pits. Some of these teams coming up here. Baltimore Rebel going to be taking on Los Angeles Infamous. Infamous going to be playing their first match against Rebel. Rebel already has one in the books as they took a victory in a really close match against ML Kings. So Infamous with a rebuild squad picked up Nate Schrader from Uprising, also got Ryan Rodarte from Chicago Aftershock. So new look for Infamous this year as they lost some of their longtime players to the Ironmen in Trevor Reeser and Damian Ryan. That game's coming up next, as well as Edmonton Impact and Chicago Aftershock.
I'm excited to see the Aftershock guys play.
Me too. You know, they got Mike Paxton on the team now. They got Meter coming over from the Ironmen. And, you know, it's always fun to watch Carl Markowski do his thing out there. So
maybe it'll kind of calm Carl down a little bit to have a little bit more I don't want to say talent, but a little more experience on the squad. Because the Shock guys are talented. Man, we played against them. It's just they don't really have a plan B. The plan B is just kind of freestyle, and I think that kind of ends up biting them in the butt a little bit. But having a little tiny bit more experience on the squad should calm their nerves maybe a little bit. I don't know what it is. You see Carl's just hopping around everywhere.
Well, I think because, I mean, depending on the year, I mean, it is up to Carl to try to create and produce, and I feel puts a little bit too much pressure on himself sometimes. But he's just so entertaining to watch play, so I'm just going to go let Carl do his thing out there. You know, LJ Parrish really stepped up for Shock last year. But anyway, looks like we are going to watch Red Legion, just no time left on the clock. DMG getting shot out, trying to make something happen. And we do not see an upset here. Thought we were going to see one for a second, but a little bit too much Alexander Burtnikoff for Sacramento DMG.
All right. And that, I thought it was a really good game, and it really shined. It really showed the difference when Presselback was able to get in the snake and get down the field. So.
All right, so thank you guys so much for joining us. Again, remember to go sign up on GoSports.com to watch the action going down Saturday and Sunday. We still have more paintball coming at you, and some of the favorites here in this event yet to play. We'll be right back. More action on GoSports.com. I'm Matty Marshall. Thanks, Ryan. And I'll be back with Todd Martinez. See you in just a few.